I was the Home Secretary, so I think I know better than to comment on what is clearly an ongoing police investigation. The police will do what they need to do in relation to this arrest and this investigation. But I suppose it just behoves us once again to remember, first of all, that anybody who knows anything about Jeffrey Epstein should, of course, be providing that information. And once again, we need to keep at the heart of our thoughts the victims of his activity. And that's what I'll be doing this evening.
These are images which will not go down well in Downing Street at all. More problems for Keir Starmer, because it does reflect on Keir Starmer's decision to appoint him as ambassador to Washington in the first place.
Well, of course, as soon as Keir Starmer understood what the reality of Peter Mandelson's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was, he sacked him. In the middle of the night, actually. So, I think that's an important area of judgment. But, yeah, of course, to be frank, I mean, I'm here today to talk about a really important set of reforms that the government is undertaking for children in our schools with special educational needs. That's what I'd rather be talking about.
Well, isn't this the issue here, that here we are, Peter Mandelson is on the left of your screen, and we're not going to move away from this story? I mean, isn't it isn't that the problem about the way that Peter Mandelson behaved? We don't know whether he's, guilty of misconduct in public office or not, but it is dominating the news, and you're not getting in what you want to talk about, which is schools.
Well, it is at this moment, and I think I've been pretty clear about our responsibility as public servants to allow the police to get on with their investigation. But for years to come, what will make a real difference to our children is whether or not we've got an education system that allows them to achieve their full potential, including those children with special educational needs. And that's the reason why today we've made important announcements about how we invest more money in providing the support that those children need without their parents having to fight lengthy legal battles to get that support for their children.
OK. The other thing we've learned in the last few minutes is that the Chief Secretary, Darren Jones, has said that the government expects to publish this first tranche of documents relating to Peter Mandelson's appointment as US ambassador in early March. How embarrassing could that be for the government? I mean, these will quite possibly be a huge tranche, including personal, correspondence and messages between Prime Minister and Mandelson and other people at the heart of Downing Street and Peter Mandelson.
Well, of course, the reason why they're being published is because the Prime Minister has been absolutely clear that he wants full transparency about the process of appointing Peter Mandelson, as well as reviewing the way in which those appointments, and particularly that the vetting happens. You can't have it both ways, Mark. If that wasn't happening, you'd be saying to me, why is there not more transparency? The Prime Minister took swift action against Peter Mandelson when the extent of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein became clear, and he's now making sure that the information and messages around that are being released as effectively as possible, whilst, of course, not prejudicing any investigations that are underway at the moment.
Right. I mean, but you can't have it both ways either, because Keir Starmer made the decision in the first place.
And that's part of what the messages will identify. It's part of the reason why Keir Starmer, having apologised for making that decision, is now making sure that all of the information around it is available for people to see. OK, and just finally, Mel Stride described this as a dark day for Downing Street. I mean, he's right, isn't it? It is another dark day for Downing Street. Well, yeah, in some ways, as you've identified, it's not what we want to talk about. More importantly, I don't think it's what those parents currently struggling to get the sort of support for their children with special educational needs that they want are also primarily interested in. What they want to hear from me is reassurance that we will put in place for their children, the additional support at an earlier stage to enable them to make the most of their lives in schools and to reach their full potential. And that's what we've been talking about today, both the £4 billion worth of additional investment, the way in which that will enable more children to get the support they need in the schools, which will enable them to learn alongside their friends and to achieve everything that they can out of our school system. That's what I've been focused on today.
Right, well, Baroness, I'm glad you were able to talk about that, at least at the end there, because we do, as you know, and you'll be aware, have this story to cover. But Baroness, thank you very much indeed for coming on.